Good evening. You're listening to Myth and Mist, your one-stop podcast for thrillers, killers, and chillers of the Pacific Northwest. I'm Genevieve.
I'm Haley.
Thank you for tuning in this evening.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy post-holidays.
Happy... We're done with all that.
Yes, we are.
Yay.
Mm-hmm. Did you have good holidays?
I did. I had a nice Christmas. I worked New Year's Eve, so I feel like I'm still kind of recovering from that.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And New Year's Day, I also worked.
Yeah.
But it was good. It was good. I'm glad it's over. Glad we're done.
I always feel such a relief when January 2nd rolls around and Christmas is over and New Year's is over and things are just normal again.
Yeah.
I really love routine, so.
Yeah, I'm like, now we chill.
Yeah.
Now we chill until Halloween, basically.
Yeah.
Until September.
Yeah.
Or late August. Late August is when Halloween starts, I think.
Yeah. I start getting really spooky around July, I think.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's never too early.
Slasher summer is when it starts.
Slasher summer. Mm-hmm. No, that makes sense. Yeah, slasher summer, duh.
It's when I get tired of the sun and tired of the heat.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm usually tired of it by the end of June. I'm like, next.
Pacific Northwest.
We're done with you.
So you had a bit of a paranormal you stayed in a possibly haunted spot. You want to tell us about it?
So according to the guest book, the consensus was that the Airbnb where we stayed was definitely haunted. A lot of people claimed that it was haunted. I don't think it was. Obviously. Because I didn't see anything and nothing felt weird. I can look up some of the reviews and I can read a little bit of them and you can decide for yourself if you think it was haunted.
Your dog was a little scared though, right? Possibly.
He was terrified, but to be fair, he's terrified of everything.
Okay.
He's an extremely nervous, neurotic dog. The younger dog. The older dog didn't give a shit. He was stoked on everything. The younger dog did not like the steps upstairs, and he didn't like being upstairs at all. We eventually, just picked him up and took him up there, and he was, not having it. Very scared. And then we tried to get him to come back down, and he was so scared of the steps. I think it's just because in our apartment, all the stairs are carpeted.
Yeah.
So he's never really been exposed to just wooden stairs. And they were pretty steep and narrow, so maybe it was just tripping him out. I don't know.
Yeah, that
or
makes
maybe
sense.
the stairs were haunted, and he's the only
Probably
one that could
ghosts.
see it. Yeah. So this one from 2021, these people are from Seattle, and it says, "Hey guys, seems like this place could possibly be haunted. We had a great time. We will be back. Hot tub was amazing." Have to disagree. Hot tub did not get hot enough. Very annoyed. This one is March of 2023. Thank you for this beautiful home where we spent a much-needed girls' trip. Great place to have a medical emergency.
What?
Great place to have a medical emergency. Smiley face. Weird sounds coming from basement. Haunted? ? Tapping on windows. Beautiful hot tub that was so relaxing. Thank you. Again. Hot tub. Not
relaxing. Can't trust any of these people.
No, these people are idiots. Tapping on the windows was obviously the bushes, because there were bushes literally growing onto the windows, and when the wind blew, it sounded like this. So, clearly, that's what that was. Not putting a whole lot of stock in that one.
Good place to have a medical emergency.
Good place to have
I'd
a
like
medical
to know more
emergency.
about that.
I don't know what that means. That's a little ominous. This one from June 2023 just said, "This place is 100% haunted."
100%. When do you remember when the first entry was? Because it could definitely...
The earliest one that says it was haunted is 2021.
Okay, because that could also cause like a cascading effect. Like one person says it's haunted, so everybody hears
This
afterwards.
one from March of last year says this house is haunted. Be warned, not scared. Had a great time. Oh, this one's from 2020. Had a great time, went fishing, and walked down to... I can't read that. Kind of creepy house, but sat in a hot tub for almost 10 hours.
10 hours?
Well, you can do that when the tub's not actually hot.
Still.
Then you're just sitting in warm water for 10 hours. That's a little excessive.
I don't trust any of these people.
And then there's some weird pictures that this kid drew where it's looks like a person carrying a head that's frowning and maybe dripping blood.
Nice. That's cool. That kid's cool.
And then this little kid, there's no year on this one. This little kid wrote, "This house is creep. I see eyes out of the window. The basement is haunted. Please help me. Help." That's probably the most compelling evidence right there.
That's the only one I believe.
This house is pretty scary. Wait. This house, I'm pretty sure, is haunted. If you don't hear from me, the people from the basement got me. Tell my wrestling team that they won't win. JK, the scares are queaky, though, and the basement is weird.
Did you go to the basement?
I didn't even know there was a basement.
Okay.
I didn't know until, like, right before we were leaving, and we were reading it, and I was like, wait, there's a basement?
Seems like that's where all the ghosts
News
are.
to me. I didn't hear shit.
Oh, well.
So, anyway, if you have any interest in going to Seaside and staying in this hypothetically haunted Airbnb, I will send you the link and you can
send us
see
a
for
message.
yourself. You can go see if it's haunted. Maybe you'll see and hear weird things that I didn't. And maybe the hot tub will get hotter than 94 degrees. Because that was ridiculous.
If you go and you see a ghost, you gotta let us know.
If you go and you see a ghost and the hot tub is boiling,
if you boil
don't tell
to
me,
death,
I'll be mad.
please don't do that.
If you get in the hot tub and it kills you and you become a ghost that haunts the house and you want to be on the show, send us an email.
Yeah, please. Please. Okay. That's a solid plan.
Yeah. Do that. Do that.
All right. Well, what kind of stories you got for us today?
Are we diving in?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Today, I have a story from the great state of Washington, where all the worst things happen.
Okay, wait. How often do you go to Washington? Or how much time have you spent?
Not a ton.
Same.
Every once in a while, we go to Vancouver just to, like, dick around.
Vancouver's cool.
Daniel works in Vancouver, so he's there every 4 days a week.
Oh, shit.
And, you know, we do some hiking and, you know, Washington's beautiful. Mm-hmm. It's just weird.
Yeah.
There's just... me and Daniel have talked about this before, where we're like, there's just something weird about Washington. It has, like, a weird energy.
I'd agree with that.
Oregon might too, but maybe we're just used to it because we live here.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but I do agree with you. And I think Oregon does have similar energy, but not quite the same.
Yeah, it's not quite as like... Ooh.
Yeah, yeah.
There's something about Washington where you're just like, yeah, this horrible thing would totally happen here.
Well, all right, tell me about what happened there.
Well, this guy's crazy, so I'm honestly surprised he's not a household name. Like, move over, Ted Bundy. I'm fucking sick of your ass. It is going to jump around a little bit, but just know that everything that I'm talking about in terms of murders committed, and there's a lot of them, including a few that I don't mention just simply because I ran out of time and room. Everything within the story is taking place, all the murders are taking place between 1996 and 1999. So, here we go. On August 26 of 1997, police in Spokane, Washington discovered 2 bodies on the same day. One day, 2 bodies, which was weird in Spokane because the average murder rate used to be about 5 murders per year. But this is 1997, so since 1996, the murderers have shot up, and now they're finding bodies all the time.
Just within that year?
Just within that year.
Damn, okay. Everyone says the 90s are better, but they forget these things.
They forget. This is also the 90s, so we're just after DNA becoming like a viable tool for helping find murderers, so, and solving crimes. So remember that too.
Okay.
So Jennifer Joseph and Heather Hernandez are the 2 victims found on that day, August 26, 1997, but they were only the most recent victims in a string of gruesome murders in Spokane County. In this story, there are so many victims and not a ton of accessible information on them, although I will include a link that's in my sources that has a really good documentary that does have some family members talking about some of them. But I was able to find a really nice article about the one victim, Jennifer Joseph, and she in particular is very important to this case kind of getting the break it needs. So here's a little bit on Jennifer. She was born October 6, 1980, Libra. That's 2 days after my birthday. So she was probably really cool.
Definitely really cool.
She was just 16 years old when she moved out of her dad's house in Spanaway, Washington, and into an apartment with 3 other girls, all of whom were, I believe, under the age of 20. Her parents had gone through a pretty intense divorce in her early teens, and she had gone back and forth between Hawaii, which is where her mom lived, and then Washington, which is where her dad lived. She eventually did settle in Washington because she said she didn't fit in Hawaii. Her mother was Korean, her dad was American, and she said that people in Hawaii were racist, more racist than Washington, if you can imagine that. I've racist than Washington.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot about Hawaii.
Okay, so she was absolutely not happy there. She'd also moved around a lot prior to this because her dad was in the military, so by 12 she lived in Denmark, Virginia, South Korea, and Massachusetts, and then Washington. And Hawaii. She was described as bubbly and adventurous. Here's a cute thing. She apparently had a ton of stuffed animals in her room at all times. Like, even as a teenager, she collected them. She had tons of them because she loved animals, but she couldn't have any pets because she had allergies.
That's so sad.
So she just collected stuffed animals and liked to have them around her, which is so sweet and cute.
If God was real, no one would be allergic to pets.
I agree. How cute is that,
That's
though?
really cute.
She's just like, well, I can't have a pet, so I guess I'll have all my plushies around me.
That's really sweet.
It's totally relatable.
Yeah.
I have 2 pets, and I still have so many plush. She apparently got into partying after she moved out. She started doing drugs and dabbling a little bit into sex work. Her and her roommates started hanging out with some older guys who would, it sounds like, essentially low-key kind of traffic them. I'm not sure exactly what role they played in, like, how the girls made money or if they took a percentage. In the article I read, they were referred to as amateur pimps. So I don't really know what that means. Like, self-proclaimed, I don't know. I don't know. From what I've inferred, it sounds like they kind of just, like, introduced them to the idea of it and were like, and maybe showed them where to go and, like, encouraged them to do it as a quick way of earning money. But I don't think they necessarily, like, were their handlers. But either way,
they consider
shady.
themselves amateur pimps.
Yes.
I wouldn't trust. Don't trust that.
Yeah.
Don't ever trust a man.
They labeled themselves as pimps, but but they were also like 21, 22, and like didn't know what the fuck was going on. Probably, I don't think it. I think it was more of like a title thing so that they could feel like bad. But they successfully were like, hey, you should try this, and they were like, okay, and they did. This is another sad little thing. Jennifer was very into palm reading, and she used to show her family, hold up her palm and be like, you guys, look at how short my lifeline is. I'm not going to live past 21. And her body was discovered dumped in a field north of Spokane. She'd been shot execution style and found with a plastic bag around her head. She was 16.
16.
And the other victim who was found that same day, Heather Hernandez, I couldn't find almost anything about her, just that she was 20 years old. And that she was found very much the same way. Shot in the head with the bag. And both of them had been... All of the sources go back and forth. Most of them say sexually assaulted. I'm not certain if it was rape or sexual assault. But I do think it is important because there's a huge distinction, especially in terms of what they're different charges. So someone who's accused of sexual assault could be accused of like groping someone, versus rape. You could get, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's like, I wish they were a little bit clearer about that, but we will continue. So the getting shot, execution style, back of the head, it had kind of become like a grim calling card for a lot of women's bodies that were discovered around this time. Starting with the discovery of Shannon Zielinski in June of 1996. Then May 1997, 43-year-old Melody Murfin was reported missing. Remember that. May 1997, 43-year-old Melody Murfin was reported missing. Her body was not found. She was reported missing. November of 1997, the body of 29-year-old Darla Sue Scott was found, shot in the head, bag tied around her head. 1 month after that, December, 4 more bodies were found in December. 34-year-old Melinda Mercer, 36-year-old Sean Johnson, 31-year-old Laurel Wasson, and 39-year-old Sean McClellan. And Laurel Wasson and Sean McClellan were actually also found on the same day, which was December 26th. In addition to that, on February 8th, Sonny Oster's body was recovered, and it was the same circumstance, shot in the head, execution style, with the bag covering the head. So, by the time Jennifer and Heather's bodies were discovered, police were like, okay, definitely got a serial killer.
This was all in the same town, same area. Okay.
All in Spokane. Okay. Yep. Which had a population of like 200,000 people. So the fact that there's now like 8 murders in a year, they're like, sounds to me like we've got a serial killer. It's like, yeah. You'd think you might have figured that out maybe a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
Maybe 8's the magic number. I don't know. I'm not a police officer. What do I know? So yeah, after they discover Sonny Oster's body, finally in 1998, the police were like, maybe we should make a task force to try and get to the bottom of who's been doing all this. Took them 2 years, but whatever. We're doing it now. Okay, let's go. So this is a priority. Finally, I wonder if it might have been a bigger priority if these women hadn't been sex workers, almost all of them, a lot of them with addiction, but that's neither here nor there. Whatever. They're doing it now.
Good call out, though.
For fuck's sake. So yeah, they're like, okay, what is this guy doing? He's shooting them execution style, the plastic bag around the head, which could be a number of reasons why. Could be for utility. It's hard to figure out. I don't think nobody actually says if he puts the bag on before shooting them to try and contain the blood or after. It could be a utility thing. It also could be that he doesn't want to see their face when he executes them, which is a common thing too, because looking at someone's eyes humanizes them. So they don't know. I don't know what this guy's thinking. He's a sick fuck. Whatever. He's killing these women. It's fucked. In terms of where the bodies are being found, some of them are left on the side of the road in remote locations, wooded areas. Some of them are being found right downtown, very close to where they worked. And so there's this main stretch where a lot of these sex workers go. It's called like they refer to it as the Skid Row of Spokane. And so almost all of the women that were recovered, a couple of them were like cocktail waitresses or bartenders, but most of them were sex workers. So the profilers are thinking, it seems like whoever is doing this has a degree of confidence in that he's going to get away with it. He's likely a John or somebody who's soliciting these sex workers for services, getting them to get into his car, assaulting them. Maybe in some cases it's consensual. Either way, he's then executing them and disposing of their bodies wherever he feels like, basically. So he's likely local, not a drifter. He's staying centralized to this area. He's probably an upstanding member of the community who felt comfortable doing what he's doing, one, because of his status, and two, because he's been able to do it now, to hunt, so to speak, for like 2 years with absolutely no consequences. So he's like, fuck it, Wild West, I do what I want. So the police are like, how are we going to go about this? We're very stupid. So what they do is they compile a list of offenders. They call them light offenders.
Light.
Offenders light. It's an offender with half the calories. Basically, they're looking for someone with even just a minor criminal history. So like unpaid speeding violations, I don't know, solicitation of a sex worker, like drunken disorderly, like still a record, but not anything that's necessarily violent, because they feel like if they had a violent criminal history, he probably would have been caught already.
Yeah.
And he probably wouldn't be as smart as he is about what he's doing. So now we're going to jump back to Jennifer Joseph. So she was found murdered in 1997. A couple of days before her body was recovered, a witness saw her on the strip where she worked getting into a white Corvette. So the cops hone in on that because they don't really have anything else to go off of because they're inept. So they make a list of every Corvette that's registered to Spokane County, as well as Eastern Washington and Northern Idaho. They cross-reference this list with the list they'd already made, and they look for intersections. So they're like, of all of the offenders on this list, do any of them drive a Corvette? Yes, these ones. And then they hone in on that, and they're like, okay, so of these people that own the Corvette, do any of them own a white Corvette? And then they single in on that. And so they try and make it as narrow as they can, and then they'll build out from that. So they get some names. Now it's time to do interviews. And that is how Robert Yates Jr. comes onto their radar.
Robert Yates Jr.?
Robert Lee Yates Jr.
All right.
In 1998, Robert Yates was stopped by police for having a known sex worker in his car. I don't know if there was a cop that just happened to be like parallel to them that looked in their car and was like, I know her, come on, guy. Or if he was, I don't know.
Sure.
He recognized the sex worker, pulled him over, and was like,
what are you guys doing?
And
what's up? Can
what's
I
up?
join?
Probably, honestly. I mean, hey, when you're done hanging out with him, he's like, what are you guys doing? What's up? And Robert was like, oh, her? Yeah, she's my daughter's friend. I'm just giving her a ride home.
So innocent.
And the cop was like, no. But since he hadn't actually seen him break the law, nothing went down in front of him, he had to let him go. That sex worker was identified as Jennifer Robinson. She is not a victim. Thank God. But that's her name. So, whatever. They got to let him go. He writes it down, documents it. He was not in a white Corvette. He was driving in a black van. But they see that he's on the list for having had a white Corvette registered to him. And somebody's like, oh, yeah, I remember that guy. Pulled that guy over. He had a sex worker in his car. So, that's how he got on the list. So now they're like, all right, let's get this guy in here. So who is Robert Yates Jr.? Well, he is an Army veteran with over 2 decades of service to his name. He's a decorated pilot who flew helicopters and rescue missions. He served in Germany, Haiti, and Somalia, and is a well-respected churchgoer husband and father of 4 girls and 1 little boy.
Always a respected churchgoer.
Interesting.
Always a husband. Always a father.
Couldn't possibly be him.
No way.
So, the cops call his ass up. They call him in for questioning regarding the murder of Jennifer Joseph. And he essentially says, sorry, can't help. They say, okay, well, can we talk to you about your white Corvette? Like, what's up with that? Where's that Corvette? And he goes, oh, yeah, that. I sold it. And they say, okay. Well, we're asking for DNA from anyone with a white Corvette that was registered in their name at the time of this murder. So, do we have your consent to get a little DNA? And he goes, nope, bye. And he leaves.
Nope,
They're
wasn't
like,
me.
okay, something's up with this guy. That was weird. So, they track down the guy who he sold the car to because their feelers are fully up. They are suspicious. The new owner of the car immediately agrees to let them look in the car for evidence. He says, go for it. And lo and behold, what do you think they find?
I don't know.
Well, I'll tell you. They find textile fibers that are a match to fibers found on Jennifer's body. They find bloodstains in the seat. And upon testing, they match Jennifer's blood. They also find, under the car floorboards, a button from a shirt that Jennifer was wearing when her body was discovered.
Still
that was
couldn't have
missing.
been him.
And what's interesting is that in an interview with her dad, he's even like, I'm pretty sure that she probably ripped that button off and hid it
Wow.
to plant evidence because she was very put together. And this guy cleaned the car like fastidious. He was like, you know, he had to, obviously. So the fact that he never found the button made her dad be like, she probably hid that button. It might have been the last thing she did. So now the cops have probable cause for a warrant. They're like, okay, you prick, give us that damn DNA. And wouldn't you know it, it matches DNA found on Jennifer's body. And on April 18th, 2000, 47-year-old Robert Yates is arrested and charged with the murder of 16-year-old Jennifer Joseph, who he also assaulted. So I just feel like I need to set the record straight. He is a pedophile.
Yeah.
He's a rapist.
16
He's
years
a
old.
murderer. He's a pedophile.
Wow.
16 is a child. Monster.
Monster.
One woman who was a former sex worker, she was interviewed for this documentary, and she actually had a pretty sustainable relationship with Yates. He picked her up for several dates, several times on the strip, and she said, quote, he was beyond normal. Maybe that should have been my first clue. A nice guy, very intelligent, attractive, and he paid well. She said he gave her his work number. She'd call him at work all the time. They saw each other regularly. They even, oh God, get a load of this. They would even talk to each other about who they thought the killer was.
Oh.
And he said, I think he's in law enforcement. And she said, no, I think he's a cab driver. And they would like dish about it to each other on their dates. So, you know, talking
gross.
Theories and stuff.
So
So
gross.
twisted. Because she had no idea.
Yeah. I hope not.
She did. Poor thing. And then she said when she saw his picture on the news, she was sitting at a bar having a drink. She saw his picture on the TV. She said she almost fell off the bar stool. She said never in a million years she would have suspected him because he was just so normal. And she said it really hit hard on her personally because at the time of his arrest, she was starting to have some deeper feelings for him.
Wow.
She said, I used to be able to trust my own judgment, and I just can't do that anymore.
Don't trust the normies.
So that fucked her up. Upon his arrest, a sex worker named Christine Smith calls Spokane PD and says, hey, I know that guy. He shot me back in August. So here we have a story within a story. On August 18th, 1998, Christine Smith got into a black van of a prospective client. She'd been extremely careful lately about whose car she got into because obviously there's a serial killer drifting around, killing all of her friends and coworkers. But she's like, this guy seems safe, so whatever. She got in. He gave her money up front for her services. And before they even did anything, she joked with him, and she's all like, are you the guy that's been killing all those girls? And apparently he laughed, and he was like, no, honey, I'm a family man. I could never do that. Gross.
Yeah.
So whatever. They do their thing. It's fine. Consensual. Once their business was done, Christine tried to get out of the van, and that's when the man locked the doors, took out a gun, and shot Christine in the head.
Oh my God. In the head.
Shot her in the head. Somehow, the bullet only grazed her face, and she was able to throw herself backwards out of the car and run like hell. She got the fuck out of there. She filed a police report the next day. She gave a detailed description of the car, which was a black van, and her attacker, and even said that he told her he was a pilot in the Army. So now they have all of this information, coupled with his DNA on Jennifer Joseph's body. They've got him on the murder of Jennifer Joseph and the attempted murder of Christine Smith. And they know they likely have him on all of these other murders. They're like, it's obviously him. They're very confident that he was responsible for all of them, and they had enough evidence to charge him with the murder of 8. They wanted to charge him with all the murders at once, so they wanted to use this technique called common scheme, meaning that they need to convey that he had a plan to go after one specific group. So in this case, it would be sex workers. And if they can do that, then they can get him on all of these murders, and they can just do one trial for everybody. But that didn't work because in order to prove that, he would have had to kill every single sex worker that he had in exchange, which he didn't do that. He had many exchanges with many sex workers that he did not harm. So they're like, well, fuck, that's out. That's not going to work. So instead, Robert's defense offered a deal, which is that they will drop the death penalty and give him a life sentence. In exchange, he would have to admit to the murders that he was charged with and admit to 6 additional murders for which charges had not been filed. So they're like, help us solve all of these unsolved murders. Like, own it, because we know it's you. We know it's you. And then we will take the death penalty off the table, and you'll get life. And he says, fine. And one of these 6 additional murders was the disappearance of Melody Murfin, if you'll recall. She went missing in 1997. Her body had not been recovered. So both sides agreed to this deal. The deal went down, and Robert Lee Yates was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. I believe he got like 402 years. He did end up leading the police to Melody Murfin's body. Guess where he buried her? In his yard.
My God.
He buried her in his yard, right outside of the headboard on his bed.
Jesus, that's
Like
so gross.
4 feet down.
Did it ever say? Sorry. Did it ever say how old his children were?
I believe the oldest was 25 and the youngest was 5.
Ugh.
The boy was the youngest.
Okay.
Which apparently he was all cute and sweet and church going, but behind closed doors he was a asshole.
Yeah.
Abusive, very controlling, very domineering, ruled with an iron fist. asshole. In addition to leading the police to Melody Murfin's body, which was in his yard, he also confessed to 2 additional murders that he had committed over 20 years ago. On July 13th, 1975, while he was living in Walla Walla, Washington, he shot and killed 22-year-old Susan Savage and her boyfriend, 21-year-old Patrick Oliver, in the middle of the day while they were having a picnic. Why? I don't know. It's believed that they may have been his first 2 victims, but that cannot be confirmed. He's never admitted to any other murders, but who fucking knows? So, who was this asshole? Well, he was born May 27th, 1952 in Oak Harbor, Washington, which is where he spent his formative years. By all accounts, he had a happy childhood. He played sports. He went to Seventh-day Adventist church with his family. He did very well in school. He was a very social, outgoing kid. He was outdoorsy, always doing outdoorsy shit. He was going hiking and fishing and camping. He had a bunch of friends, not antisocial. The church burnt down in 1969, and I was going to be like, oh, he burnt down the church. No, he didn't burn down the church. In fact, 16-year-old Robert helped them rebuild the church after it burnt down. He was also in plays. He sang in the choir. Very well-rounded, very well-adjusted. It's pretty wholesome.
He still could have burnt down the church.
I don't think he burnt down the church.
I don't think so?
No, I don't think he had anything to do with that church burning down. I think he was like, oh man, we gotta rebuild. This is a tragedy. This is where my family goes. Like,
Okay.
his best friend, Al Getty, was interviewed for a documentary on him years later after his arrest. Al Getty said that his mother had passed away, and after his mother died, Robert's mother basically took him in, essentially raised him as her own, and he and Robert were like brothers. She said he never heard them cuss. He never heard them raise their voice. They didn't drink or smoke. He described them as a clean living family.
I wouldn't trust them.
Oh, I wouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him, but you'd think that somebody would have, at some point. The only thing I could find in terms of violent history is that his grandmother actually killed his grandfather with an axe in 1945. So that was years before he was even born. It's not like he saw it and was like, oh my God,
Yeah.
It didn't plant the seed. He wasn't born yet. So it is interesting, but who knows? In 1970, he graduated high school with honors. By 1974, he had married his wife, Linda Brewer. They lived in Walla Walla, Washington, and Robert got a job at Washington State Penitentiary as a corrections officer, so a prison guard. In 1976, he enlisted in the Army. He was a great pilot. He loved flying helicopters. He ended up teaching flight instruction for teachers. So he was teaching teachers how to teach.
Okay.
He was like the best of the best, very successful, 18-year-long career in the military. Like I said, he was stationed in Germany, Haiti, Somalia, also Fort Drum, New York, and Fort Rucker, Alabama. Very impressive resume. He left the military in 1996 with an outstanding record and moved his family of 7 back to Washington, where he was born. And if you'll recall, 1996 is when all the murders started to happen. So, because he murdered victims in 2 different counties, Pierce County prosecutors were like, nope, no plea deal. We don't accept that. We want you to have your own trial. You're going to stand trial here in Pierce County for the murders he committed here in Tacoma, which were Connie LaFontaine Ellis and Melanie Mercer. Their bodies were discovered in Tacoma. Different county, new trial. He was convicted of their murders as well. October 3rd, 2002, he was sentenced to death for their murders. So now he's got a life sentence for all of these women in Spokane and a death sentence in Pierce County.
Okay.
But in October 2018, capital punishment was declared unconstitutional by Washington State Supreme Court. So his sentence was commuted to life without parole. So, no more death penalty in Washington. He's safe. Would you like to know where he's currently serving out his sentence?
I would love to.
Washington State Penitentiary, the same jail where he worked as a fucking prison guard. How do you like them apples? And that is the fucked up story of this horrible man.
So, what do you think he's always had that in him, or like this first murder was like a freak occurrence, or like what do you think happened there?
What do you think?
Hey,
Rhubarb.
Rhubarb.
What do you think?
Rhubarb. No.
What do you think?
Hey, get down there.
I think, I don't know. It sounds an awful lot like the Ted Bundy backstory, which is that he had a really solid home life and then just decided he hated women. It doesn't sound like he enjoyed torturing them the same way, but he had this like compulsion to execute them. I mean, rape is torture.
They were
absolutely.
all women?
They were all women
All
except for the
women.
one male. The one,
It was the
I'm
couple.
blowing this. Yeah, it was the male of the couple. His last
Okay.
name was
What?
Patrick Oliver.
Okay. What?
I believe he killed a trans woman.
Okay. What was? Can you remind me what the deal was for him admitting to everything? Like what he got out of that?
He got the death penalty taken off,
Oh, okay. Okay.
but that was just in Spokane County
Yeah.
because Pierce County was like, no,
Yeah. Okay.
no,
Damn. Okay.
we're not doing
Because
that.
he admitted to it and more.
And more, yeah.
Yeah. Damn.
He also took a lie detector test just so they would be like, okay, you're not talking out of your ass, right? Like,
Yeah.
this is legit, and he passed with flying colors, so.
Okay. Interesting. And he'll be there for the rest of his life.
He's still alive.
Yeah.
He's, I think, 75 now.
Okay.
I'm just so satisfied. I'm like, you used to think that you were so tough walking around this prison being like, get back in your cell. Let me see your hands. No contraband.
I wonder if there were any, like when he got sentenced there, if there were any of his old coworkers still there.
I doubt there was, well, maybe. I feel like probably nobody would have remembered him because he was just not, he didn't work there for that long.
Sure.
And
Okay.
he seems very unremarkable,
Yeah.
quite frankly. So I feel like he might have wanted to be remembered, and then people
Yeah.
were like, "Who are you?" I don't
Yeah.
know. He's like, "No, remember me?" And they're like, "I don't care."
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. Well, have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun, Robert.
Yeah, that's all fucked up. You said Spokane, right? Spokane. Okay. This has nothing to do with my stories that I was going to tell later, but I have this like crazy small world story that I've been sharing because I think it's so interesting. So when I was like, have I told you this yet? I don't think I have.
No.
Okay. So when I was like 16, I had just gotten my license and I lived like 4 hours from Chicago. And my friend met this guy, my friend Amy met this guy off the internet, and she flew out to Spokane to meet him. And I remember this because one, it's fucking weird for like a 17-year-old to fly across the country
So weird.
and meet some guy off the internet
Terrifying.
in 2006, especially.
Terrifying.
And I also remember it because it's the first time that I had ever driven to Chicago, and it was really fun. It was a really fun trip. And I had to like lie to my mom about where I was going, and
Sure,
it was
yeah.
just really fun. Anyway, so my friend Chelsea has just started dating this guy. My friend Chelsea in Portland had just started dating this guy somewhat recently, and I looked him up on Instagram the other day, and I noticed that I had like my Indiana friend was following him, and so was my friend Chelsea, and I was like, that's weird. Like, I don't know why she'd be following this person, but okay. I didn't think anything of it. And then the next day I was like doing yoga or something, and then it hit me. Like, he's from Spokane. I bet it's the same fucking guy. And I messaged Chelsea about it, and I was like, ask him if this girl named Amy went to visit him in 2006 from Indiana. And it's the same guy.
What the fuck?
Isn't that like the craziest like small world?
Ooh.
It's so weird. Amy said he's like a great guy, and there's like nothing weird there.
Thank God.
But it's just like
because
so
that could
strange.
have ended so badly.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird that.
What are the odds?
Yeah.
What do they call that? Synchronicity? Or
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've never met this guy, but I need to because this weird small connection. This weird connection.
What if you meet him and then the world ends because you met him?
It might be. I don't know. We'll see. I'm sorry if it.
Maybe you shouldn't
happens.
meet him. I'm scared. No.
I don't know.
Of this. Rhubarb, should she meet him?
Yes.
Rhubarb says no, don't meet him.
I wanted to.
You could break the matrix.
Yeah, that's true. I wanted to apologize to you if anyone could hear like the table or chair squeakiness going on. We're trying out a new setup, and
We're trying a new setup today.
I don't know how loud this is. And also, you can probably see our dogs in the background if you're watching.
Which is good.
Mm-hmm. They are a little loud
Face for the algorithm.
And also, this little one right here has not been fed her dinner yet, and she's been asking.
There she goes. Yep. Just kidding. It's not a dog. It's a Muppet. It's a Muppet.
She's screaming to the world that she hasn't been fed.
She's starving to death. Someone feed her. Feed this poor angel. She's wasting away.
All right, Rio. Okay.
Oh, here she comes. Hello.
Rio. Enough. Hey, we're not gonna do that. Go lay down.
Go lay down. Go lay down. Go lay down.
Well, I'm gonna refill my wine tonight. We're sponsored by Simpler Wines brand.
Simpler Wines. It is a Trader Joe's. There's a bug. It's a Trader Joe's brand. Oh yeah, what did they always do in the videos? Yeah. They do like that in like the influencer videos. They hold up the thing and then they're like, yeah. They're 4 for $5. You get a 4-pack of them for $5 at Trader Joe's, and they're
go to your local TJ's.
Delicious.
All right.
Okay.
And my topic is it's not quite related to Spokane, although it is related to your story in the beginning about going to the coast, because tonight I'm going to talk about haunted shipwrecks.
Okay, I was just talking to Daniel about how one of my favorite horror subgenres is coastal horror.
Oh, hell yeah. Like is it the fog or the mist? I get them confused.
The fog.
Okay.
I love coastal horror movies.
Pacific Northwest coast is moody as fuck all year round. It's beautiful. It's amazing.
It's foggy. It's foreboding. Mm-hmm. It's dreary. Mm-hmm. It's endless possibilities of terrifying things that could happen to you when you go to the coast, the Oregon coast.
Yeah.
So that's why it's the best.
Or the Washington coast.
Or the Washington... I don't even know. God forbid.
You don't want to go there. I don't know. I'll tell you why.
Okay, yeah. Yes, do tell.
The Pacific Northwest identity is deeply intertwined with the sea. Early colonizers first became interested in the region when there were rumors of a mythical all-water route between the Atlantic and the Pacific, known at the time as the Northwest Passage.
It's mythical.
It's mythical because it's not real. It's not. When the shipping industry boomed in the mid-19th century, major hubs in cities such as Seattle and Portland developed, making them both major city ports. The waterways of the Pacific Northwest are not just scenic. They've been crucial for trade, cultural exchange, and community. Heavy fogs and violent weather systems from the North Pacific create rough conditions for ships traveling through. Today, I'm going to talk about shipwrecks and some of the ghosts that haunt the waters of the Pacific Northwest.
Does that mean the ghosts cause the shipwrecks?
I'll find out.
Oh my God.
The Puget Sound is a massive inland estuary in Washington state connecting to the Pacific Ocean. It is approximately 95 miles long with a shoreline that stretches over 1,300 miles and is bordered by major cities such as Seattle, Tacoma, and Everett. It was formed by glaciers sometime between 10,000 and 20,000 years ago, and it contains numerous shipping ports and has been a vital part of international trade, military shipping, and fishing. But from unfortunate collisions to violent weather systems and rough seas, multiple tragedies along the Puget Sound has resulted in numerous phantom ship stories.
Phantom ship, so that's like a
Phantom ship.
the ship is itself is the ghost.
Yeah.
Oh, that's creepy. Okay.
Okay.
Do you have any stories about lighthouses?
Not in this one, but for future episodes. Yeah, there's a lot.
I love that. Is oh, my heart.
Yeah. One of the most famous Seattle area ghost stories is that of the steamship Dix. D-I-X.
I don't want to get haunted by that ship.
No, you don't.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh,
I'm gonna try not to laugh every time I say that now. Watch it like it's D-I-X, but someone's gonna be like, it's pronounced
Dykes.
which is worse here.
I prefer dykes over
I would rather
dicks.
be haunted by a dyke than a dick.
Oh man.
Okay.
Ooh.
The Dix was a small. The dick was small.
God. I can't. No wonder the ship is pissed off. Okay.
It was a small wooden steamer used to transport workers to and from lumber mills around the Puget Sound. In November of 1906, the steamship Dix was shuttling passengers. So sad.
I'm so sorry. I'm done. I'm done
Was
laughing.
shuttling passengers across Elliott Bay in a routine journey when it crossed the path of a much larger SS Genie, which was anchored nearby.
Ship envy.
After the impact, the Dix started to immediately tip to the side.
Oh God.
Oh, God. The Dix capsized.
I hate it when they swing to the side. Freaks me out.
I read this to myself so many times and didn't laugh. But reading it out loud now is making me laugh.
Well,
so
you forgot that I'm a 12-year-old. I have a sense of humor of a 12-year-old boy, so. And I'm weeping. Okay, I'm done. I'm not going to laugh ever again at dicks.
I only say it like 3 more times.
Okay, here we go.
After the impact, the Dix started to immediately tip to the side, with water rolling in quickly. Passengers scrambled for safety, but within minutes, the steamship capsized and sank, with dozens tragically sinking with the vessel.
Okay, that's not funny.
It's not funny. At least 39 of the ship's passengers died in the wreck.
39? Mm-hmm. I thought it was a small dick.
Well, it was.
39? I feel like that's a big... I don't know anything about ships. I'm talking out of my ass. Is 39 a big crew for a small dick?
I think if it was crew, that'd be a big crew, but it was...
But it's passengers.
Yeah, and crew.
Okay, so I guess that is kind of small. Wait, what year is this again?
This was 1906.
Oh, fuck. Did they even have like life preservers and shit in 1906?
I don't know.
Or were they just like, whoop?
They probably, I mean, they had like I'm sure they had like lifeboats and stuff, but
Oh yeah, they knew that things could
Yeah.
float because
Yeah.
obviously they made a boat.
Yeah.
Duh. Silly.
in the years that followed, people began talking about strange occurrences around the area where the ship reportedly sank. Fishermen reported ghostly lights and disembodied voices calling out for help from the darkness.
Okay, but what if that was real people drowning?
Maybe.
And the person on the beach was like, it's a ghost. And they ran away. And it was like a guy being like, no, bitch, I'm drowning. Help me.
No. One encounter came from a tugboat captain named Henry Mitchell. In 1912, he reported seeing a shadowy outline of a steamer drifting through the bay. As he approached, the vessel disappeared without a trace. He swore that what he saw was the ghost of the Dicks. Okay. I'm only going to say it two more times.
I feel like my worst nightmare is getting haunted by a dick.
In 1923, a group of sailors also reported a mysterious glow rising from the waters of Elliott Bay. They noticed the outline of a submerged ship illuminated by an unnatural light. They described feeling a sudden chill in the air and a feeling of being watched. They too believed they encountered the Phantom Dicks.
You knew what you were doing. Don't give me that.
Despite it being well documented and often speculated upon, the final location of the Dicks remained a mystery until recently.
Where are the dicks now?
In 2023, a group of underwater explorers located the Dicks' final resting place. They found the ship sitting upright at the bottom of Elliott Bay, submerged under roughly 600 feet of water. I'm really just picturing like a giant dildo at the bottom of the ocean, like boing.
Oh God.
No, we're fire. Two men named...
It's like they go down so deep and they're like, we found it. It's just a huge dildo.
Is it Austin Powers where there's the like spaceship or something flying and it's just like a giant
It's
dick?
a penis.
Yeah.
I think that it. Or is it Spaceballs?
I think it's Austin.
Or it might be both. I don't know.
Maybe. Two men named Jeff Hummel and Mike McCauley say they've known the location since about 2015, but they kept it a secret until 2023 because when you find a dick that big, you gotta keep it to yourself.
You hide that dick. You don't tell anybody about that dick. It's a secret dick.
They say the vessel is covered in large sea anemones, so it's difficult to see the actual structure. They hope to work with Washington State to help preserve and protect the vessel, saying that it's important to pay respect and to the vessel and to the people who have been lost, and they would like to see some legal mechanism for protecting it.
That's nice. What about that whole... Have you heard of how like billionaires can pay to go in a submarine and like go look at the Titanic or whatever?
Yeah, there's like the implosion that happened last year, a few years. I don't know.
Well, yeah, because they basically got in like a aluminum foil ball and were like, "Wee, let's go."
Yeah, yeah. The guy who, James Cameron.
Yeah.
He. I don't know where I was going with that. Never mind.
He did.
He like started. I don't know if he started the exploration, but he like when he was writing the Titanic, he went deep to explore. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know. We're gonna move on.
I just think that it's interesting that it's down there. You know, it's down there. It's like an abandoned building, but inaccessible. But it's so cool.
Yeah.
But also so sad because you're like, a lot of people died on this.
There are a lot of abandoned ships around the Seattle area. I didn't include that in this, but I think it was like Washington, maybe. Actually, I don't know. I don't
We
think
just
I have
went
it
to the
written down.
shipwreck. We went to go see the shipwreck when we were at the coast.
Nice, yeah.
And it's weird and surreal.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty.
Excuse me.
Got dicks on the brain.
Got ticks on the brain. Jeff Hummel and Mac McCauley also discovered another legendary Pacific Northwest shipwreck, the SS Pacific, which sank off the coast of Washington over 150 years ago. Got bubbly bubbles.
It's so crazy that there were, I mean, it's not crazy, but it's just so crazy to think of that 150 years ago there was any technology. You know what I mean? Like, obviously there was all that stuff, but
Yeah, it's sped up a lot in recent, like, modern times, but yeah, people have been traveling, getting around for a long time.
It's wild.
In November of 1875, the steamer Pacific left Victoria, BC for San Francisco, carrying at least 275 people. Also on board was coal, hops, cranberries, hides, furs, horses, buggies, 2 cases of opium, and about $80,000 in gold.
Yeah, I want to party with that ship.
Around 10 p.m., SS Pacific collided into another steamer named SS Orpheus.
Wait, it hit another ship?
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck does that happen? They got a whole ocean.
I don't know. Poor navigation. Bad navigational tools.
God.
About an hour after the collision, the Pacific broke in two and sank, leaving hundreds in the cold water, where they eventually died from exposure or drowning. Over 275 people died on the SS Pacific, making it the deadliest maritime disaster in the Pacific Northwest.
Did anyone survive?
I think some people did, but I don't know their story. There's a lot of lore surrounding the wreck and its victims. The most infamous is the tale of Fanny Palmer, who died in the cold waters during the aftermath of the collision. Her body floated over 100 miles from the collision site and eventually came to rest on a beach only 1 mile from her home.
Oh my God.
People have reported seeing passenger apparitions, hearing wailing along the shore, and seeing phantom ship lights on foggy nights along the coast.
Her body went home.
Oh, that's
so
crazy.
sad.
That's sad. The stretch of coast between Tillamook Bay and Oregon and The stretch of coast between Tillamook Bay in Oregon and Vancouver Island is known as the Graveyard of the Pacific. It has claimed over 2,000 vessels and as many as 1,000 lives. In January of 1906, the SS Valencia was en route from San Francisco to Seattle with 108 passengers and 65 crew members. The weather deteriorated quickly with low visibility and strong winds. The storm forced the crew to operate without the aid of navigational equipment and caused the ship to steer off course and instead strike a reef about 11 miles off Vancouver Island. The ship was lifted by a huge wave while water poured in through a hull breach. The captain tried saving the ship by running it over nearby rocks. The ship ended up stranded about 100 yards from shore. In the confusion, most of the lifeboats were lowered against orders. 3 flipped during lowering, 2 capsized, and 1 just completely vanished.
Oh my God.
No. Conditions on deck continued to worsen as the rough sea smashed into passengers, sweeping them into the water to drown.
They should have just stayed on the fucking boat.
Yeah. Well, they did. And the waters. Yeah. The storm made it impossible for rescue vessels to approach. People huddled together on the hurricane deck, terrified for over 36 hours as huge waves slowly broke the ship apart. As rescuers watched, a huge wave swept the remaining passengers and crew into the sea.
So no one.
I don't think so. Oh, no, actually, there were 37 survivors, but over 136 deaths.
Jeez.
And an article that I read said all the women and children who were aboard the ship died.
Oh, man.
No.
Well, they were probably in the lifeboats that got lowered first and got all fucked up.
Yeah. Since the wreck, sailors and civilians have reported phantom ship sightings in the area. In 1910, the Seattle Times reported that people claimed to have seen a phantom ship resembling the Valencia on the rocks in the vicinity of its wreckage location. It was rumored that fishermen had seen a lifeboat also being manned by skeletons. That so scary.
Sounds sick, actually. I would love to see that. Taking a walk along the misty beach and you just see a bunch of fucking skeletons trying to lower a lifeboat off of a ghost ship. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I would lose my mind in the best possible way. I'd jump in that water and swim to them. I'd be so excited.
Would be cool. Would be scary. Would be cool.
Oh, man. I don't even know what I would do.
In 1933, one of Valencia's lifeboats was found drifting in the area, still in good condition despite the 27 years of exposure to the elements.
27 years?
27 years. In the same area.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
They don't make them like they used to.
Oh, I sure don't. The 100-foot cliffs above the scene of... The 100-foot cliffs above the scene of the disaster have been named the Valencia Bluffs, where the wreckage of the Valencia is now a protected artifact, and it can be seen sitting on rocks and rusting away.
Damn.
I wonder the story of the shipwreck on the coast near Seaside. Do you know?
I don't. I should have looked. I've been there many times now, and I've always just kind of been like, I don't know. Part of me likes not knowing, because then I can just make up whatever I want. Yeah. I would love to go at night. To the ocean, but we never get to because we always have dogs, and they would be weird. Yeah, they're weird at night.
Yeah.
Why are you guys so weird at night?
Witching hour.
But I would love to go at low tide and just go walk right up to it and put my hand on it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, it's scary.
Look for some skeletons.
It's scary at night. Can you get into the water? Even in the summer, can you get into the water of the Oregon or Washington coast?
Yeah, you can if you want to.
But I mean, can you physically do it? Does it, I'm asking because it's so cold that it hurts. Even in the middle of August, it hurts my body
I've
to
never
do
tried
it.
to get into the ocean.
Yeah, okay.
Because I respect the ocean. I think it's beautiful, but it also terrifies me.
It's so scary.
And I don't understand it well enough to know, to be able to look at, the tides and be like, oh, this, is what to expect. So I'm like, I would go in, I'd splash around and be like, yeah, and then I would get swept away, and that would be the end of me.
I hope not.
But also it is terribly cold year-round. Maybe if I had a wetsuit,
sure, yeah,
I would dive in just for a second and immediately paddle back. Yeah, the people that do the polar bear thing where they just run in, I'm like, I don't think I have enough fat on me to be able to pull that off, you know?
I would like to be able to handle colder waters. I can't do not ice baths. What is it called?
A cold plunge.
Cold plunge, but when you go to a sauna and there's the cold bath that you can get into, what is that called? Do you know what I'm talking about? I don't know the word for it right now. But I can't do it.
It's really cold, right?
Yeah. It just makes my muscles I get Charlie horses immediately all throughout my body. They just seize up, and I can't.
That's why
can't do it.
That's why they have lifeguards a lot of the time, even at swimming spots at the river.
Yeah,
is because when the temperature changes, even if it's really hot outside, it takes the river so long to warm up that a lot of the time people will jump in and they'll immediately have a muscle spasm. Everything will seize up and they'll start drowning.
Oh God!
And so there's signs everywhere that are don't just jump in, test the water. There's lifeguards here, and here. Wear a life jacket, whatever. That's actually pretty common reaction to cold water.
Interesting. Well, good thing I am too much of a little bitch to just jump into water.
Just listen to your body, man. Yeah. Your body says it's too cold. It's too cold.
Yeah.
Don't be a hero.
Don't be a hero. No.
Those are creepy and sad. And horny.
You horny for those skeletons on the lifeboat? And the dicks?
Not the dicks. Never horny for the dicks. Let's be real. shall we finish off tonight's session?
Yeah.
With a Kickerland? A true crime card. I got these at the, weirdly enough, the Broadway Floral. Which is a really cute florist on Northeast Broadway and like 17th. But they also have little gifts. And I got these for Daniel's stocking. And we're going to do one at the end of every episode to kind of cap things off.
True crime trivia.
True crime trivia. So I'm going to ask you a trivia question. And then on the next episode, you'll ask me a trivia question.
I don't know much about true crime, but I will do my best to guess.
This is very apt. Which true crime podcast is the first ever podcast to win a Peabody Award? It's multiple choice. Here we go.
Okay.
A, Up and Vanished. B, Serial. C, Criminal. Damn, she out. D, In the Dark.
B?
B, Serial?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Yeah. That's the one that I imagine was like the most famous out of the bunch.
That is the first true crime podcast I ever listened to.
Nice.
In Bloomington, Indiana.
Oh yeah. Shout out to Bloomington.
Shout out to Bloomington. It's a great podcast still. I should probably re-listen to it because it's been a minute.
Cool.
And it still hits.
Yeah.
I'm sure. It was so good. I think that does it.
I think that does it. Oh, I did want to say, I just spent some time today setting up our YouTube account and our TikTok account. So if y'all would like to follow us there, find us on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube at Myth and Miss Podcast.
Myth and Miss Podcast.
And also send us your stories and your feedback.
We're really horny for those stories.
Yeah.
If you could please send us some stories. We would love to do like one episode at least every couple of months where we just read your stories and talk about them. It'd be so fun. They don't have to be Pacific Northwest. They can be from wherever.
Yeah. Also, we were thinking about changing up the format, maybe in like a season 2, or we thinking about maybe possibly adding in different regions. It's not just the Pacific Northwest. So if you have strong feelings about us keeping this as a Pacific Northwest podcast, please let us know.
Or if you'd like to have us mix it up and you're like, I'm from the South. I want to hear more stories from the South, or I don't know.
Let us know.
Let us know.
mythandmistpodcast@gmail.com. Send
us your feedback.
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
Sweet dreams.
I don't know how to turn any of this off now, so I'm
it records forever.
This episode edited by 88.9.